Hey DFS players, it's your boy Manny here. Welcome to DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sports lineups for the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball. And before I continue, guys, I would appreciate a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on those notifications so that you will not miss out on any of my new uploads. And with that being said, today is March the 14th. 2018, and on the screen right now is my best score of the night. I'm going to always try to share with you my best result of the night. That's always my first part of my video. We'll always be discussing what I did the night before, and a much better night this night than last night than the night before. I scored 340.60. This is not actually on the main slate. This is on the Express 2 slate, which was I think 2 or 3 grand for first place. I finished in 650th place. I scored 340.60 as you see on the screen. On the right hand side, I always will put down who was the winner, and this individual scored a 404 on the nose. And 400 is just a marvelous score. You're not going to get those often, and when you do, chances are you're going to cash well. And this individual was able to do that. He or she had 4 or 5 monster players that just really came through last night. And when you get those kind of scores, you're going to do very well. But I am happy with my 340 because, as you know, guys, whoever follows me on IG, now that I'm transitioning over to YouTube, is that I shoot for 300 scores every single night in every slate, because that's what I believe is going to give me my best chance of winning, and that's what I preach to everybody all the time. And if you score 300 points or better, there is a good chance that you will cash. You'll make either some money, you'll make your money back, you may double your money, you may even make more than you doubled. You may end up winning the whole entire thing if you score 300 or better. So, but this is the best score of the night for me. I did score 312.80 on the main slate, which is the whole 11 enchilada games, which is a lot of games. It wasn't too bad there. I made a few bucks there. It wasn't a whole lot, but it is over 300 scores, so I try to keep track of all my 300 scores. I have a whole bunch of those. So 312.80 on the main slate. The after hours, I did get a score of 297. It wasn't enough to cash. That ended my streak. For those who have been following me, I had gone 8 days in a row, except for last night, except for the night before, where there wasn't a late slate. The last night, the after hours, I did not cash. So my streak of 8 games consecutive, 8 after hour nights, is over, and it's time to get back on the horn today and try to get back on the winning ways with the after-hour slates, which I like to do, and I've had a lot of success with those. That's basically it, guys. I'm going to try to shoot. I'll be back in a little bit with another video, but what I like to do now is I like to have a segment where I talk about the studs and the duds of last night. There were a couple of guys, obviously, and there's a few of them here on the screen that were really major studs last night. And we'll start with Raja Rondo as the main stud of the night for me, at least in my opinion. 55.5 fantasy points. He has 6 field goals, 5 rebounds, 17 assists, and 5 steals. That's an incredible game by Raja Rondo. Then comes another guy that's here on this screen is Nick Batum. Batum, man, 57 fantasy points, 7 field goals, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, 4 steals. He filled the stat sheet everywhere. The guy had an unbelievable game, man. Kudos to Batum, and of course to anybody who had him, which includes myself. Holiday, as you can see on the screen, 43.7. He was 53% owned, but he had 9 assists. He had 11 field goals. He had 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 3-pointers. Awesome game for him. We also have Anthony Davis, who's also here on the screen. Anthony Davis, 70 points, man. This guy is just like this. Cousins who? Do you need Cousins when you have a Antonio Davis on your team, this is incredible what this guy's been doing here. And even when he gets hurt, he bounces right back up. People say he's soft, and he falls apart right away. But this guy usually comes back and he just keeps playing hard. He is having. I'm thinking right now he is enjoying every minute of him being the star of this team. He's just taking that role, put the team on his back, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm going to carry this team through the playoffs, and I'm going to get it done." And he is getting it done. He is Mr. Getting It Done. Let's put it that way. So Antonio Davis, heck of a game. 13 field goals, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks, 2 steals. This is after he put up 10 blocks the other night. Man, incredible. DeAndre Jordan, DJ, had an incredible game as well. DeAndre Jordan, 65 fantasy points. Man, good job, Mr. Jordan. 11 field goals, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. He had a heck of a game, and I guess those 65.1, he really worked to keep the Clippers from losing this game last night. Without his, 18 rebounds, the Bulls would pull out this game. He really, really earned his money last night. DeAndre Jordan, kudos to you. Heck of a game. A couple of worthy mentions that are not on the screen here are guys like Kyle Kuzma, 46.6 fantasy points last night, 10 field goals, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. He hit 5 3-pointers and he had 1 steal. He was pretty much in every part of the stat sheet. He did a heck of a job for the Lakers. The Lakers, man, I'm telling you, people out there, Mr. Walton is doing a heck of a job with these young kids. These guys are playing hard, man. These guys are playing every night. They want to freaking kick everybody's butt. The Lakers are a team to watch out for in these last couple of weeks. They could very easily sneak in here if somebody decides to lay a couple of goose eggs here over the next couple of weeks. So those other teams, there's a lot of teams battling for playoff position, but I think the Lakers are going to end up being a 500 team before this is over. They're only 6 games under now, and I think they're only like 5 or 6 games from even catching up to the 8th seed. So watch out for the Lakers. But kudos to Kyle Kuzma. Heck of a game, young man. Another worthy mention for my studs from last night, the top studs of the night. Terron Prince of the Atlanta Hawks. He definitely, without him, the Hawks, who just barely lost their game, if they didn't have him play as hard as he did and have the game that he had last night, Atlanta wouldn't even be in it. He put up 46.1 fantasy points. He made about 8 or 9 shots. I think he had 18 points anyway, 3 assists. He hit 3 3-pointers. He had 8 rebounds, 1 steal. A nice, good overall good game by Mr. Prince. And then, when you think about all these studs, you got all these guys doing so well. And then, of course, you have to have that side of my list where you have those guys, like you say to yourself, come on, bro. Like, really? Come on now. And we had a bunch of those last night, too. And I will have to say there were at least 4 on my list that I was very disappointed with last night. That they come down on my list as, come on, bro. Really? And that first individual is Mr. Moutier of the New York Knicks. Emmanuel Moutier. He played 25 minutes last night. Come on, bro. And you only put up 14.2 fantasy points after 2 excellent games prior to that? What was all that about? 4 field goals, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 steal in 25 minutes. Come on, bro. That is a bad night. And I had him in 2 or 3 of my lineups. I really expect him to do well. And he did not come through. 14.2 fantasy points with a value of 25 fantasy points. He was definitely a dud last night. Dud number 2 of the night was Mr. Dorsey of the Atlanta Hawks. I had him in a few lineups. I actually had him in one lineup with Moutier. That was a horrible backcourt combination for me. He had a 17, value here. He had to put in about 17, and he came up with only 8.2 measly fantasy points in 18 minutes. Now, granted, he didn't play a whole lot of minutes, but 18 is still enough to get more than 8.2 fantasy points. Come on, bro. 2 field goals, 1 rebound, 2 assists. That is it. That's a bad night. Okay, that's a bad night. All right. Next on my list of duds of the night is Mr. Millsap. Mr. Millsap of the Denver Nuggets played 26 minutes last night. Okay, his value was at about 36 fantasy points, and my boy only came up with 20. Now, granted, he was kind of balanced out. He had 26 minutes, which was pretty good. As far as minutes are concerned, he should have had better numbers. He had 2 field goals, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. So he kind of balanced out the stat sheet, but the stat sheet was kind of low, bro. Come on now. All right? Then my last guy on my list of duds for the night is Mr. Paul George. PG-13 was a real big dud last night, especially after he went down. And granted, he went down, but by the time he went down and he was out of this game, he already had played 25 minutes. In those 25 minutes, 5 field goals, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, for a measly 23.3. 23.3 fantasy points. When he was at a 95 value, that was about 45 fantasy points. Man, that is one of the biggest duds of the night. Come on, bro. So, guys, I mean, hey, it happens. And just like I just mentioned, those are my duds of the night. But those guys, I guarantee you, the next time they play, they're going to put up better numbers. And this is why daily fantasy sports is crazy, man. You know, it's just, you know for a fact that you're going to have games like this, and you know you're going to have to bounce from it and come back just like a player and give it your best shot the next time around, and give these guys another shot the next time you feel you really need to put them in your lineup. And that's basically it. So that's the recap for today. For the moment, I will be back with a small short video soon with the stud 5 of the day. And I wish everybody a lot of luck tonight. Everybody, God bless. Have a wonderful day. And your boy Manny, DFS Zone, we're out.